Let's start it. So we can know of Allah who's most merciful and almighty. As we discussed from the last of few weeks about organization development, and today we're gonna also take it onward, organization development. Some few points are remaining, like a unique change strategy. We discussed about different strategies. We discussed. We further discussing about in unique change strategy that we have. An OD program is a long-range plan and sustained effort that unfold according to the strategy. Unfold means told, as we said in the previous strategies. We follow from that, right? Now, an OD program is a long-range, sustained effort and untold strategy. It means that we follow the strategy that as we discussed the previous lectures. The first one we have. Look, you can also see here. We discussed, and inside the heading you see three words we have. Long range, one. Another we have, that is a plan and sustained effort. And the last one we have, that is strategy. Strategy, as we discussed in the previous, we discussed about the 4 strategies we have. Mainly we follow all these strategies for bringing an effort change. Now the first one we have, that means we have long range. Remember one thing yourself, that OD practitioners, OD consultant, OD like physicians, they always bring change not in a short term, that will be in a long term. Never ever a change will come for a short term. A change always be for a long term. For a long term. And put in your mind, a change will be not permanent, because it change. That's why you need an OD practitioner always with yourself. That's why you need a consultant. Look, environment, you are operating in this environment. Is it right or no? You're operating this environment. When environment change, the people's, their desire, their wants change. So, will you change yourself or not? Definitely you will change yourself, because you are operating in this market. Because you generate the revenue from where? From this market. If you are not changing yourself, so what will happen? You will be destroyed. You will be removed from this market. Because of what? Because of not bringing changes in yourself. If you're not bringing change in yourself, so you cannot capture that opportunity that you see that in market. So what will happen? First thing we have, OD is not a small, a short-term change. It is always a long-term change. It always a long-term change. It's not of 1 month or 2 months. It will take years. It will take years to bring the change, to implement the change. It will not come in a 1 day or 2 days or 3 or 4 or 5 a month that you bring a change. A change will come it will take years. As you look at it here, long range, the reasons for OD practitioners and theorists, conceptual OD programs in the long range terms are several. What does it mean? OD practitioners, the theorists, they have said that bringing a change is not a short term. It will take several long range terms, it will take several terms. Terms means in the years. It will take several terms. It will take years. It will not come in a small and a short term. Like for example, you want to change a culture. You want to change a culture of your organization. A system you want to change. So for changing a culture of organization, it will not be like a sudden change will never come. Definitely you will go with the planning. You will have a plan for that. After planning for that, then you implement it. Then you see whether this change, if I bring it, that will be profitable for my organization or not. That will be the change that I'm going to introduce in my organization, whether that is a profitable for my organization? That is a benefit for my organization or not? You will see that. First, you will make a plan for that. Now, what do you have? Look at here. First, changing a system, culture, and the process is a difficult, complicated, in a long-term matter if lasting change is not to be affected. One thing, now look at, you want to change a culture of organization. You want to change a system organization. So that will be a complex and complicated. Look in our government. If you want to change, if you want to bring a change in our government system, so many people will stand against you. Many people will stand against you. That shows resistance. That for motivating them, understanding them, convincing them, telling them these are the benefits of, it will take terms, years will take. For convincing them that we introduce this change, please accept. This is not a bait effect on you. It will be a good effect. It has the benefits. So convincing will take longer. Again, if you convince them, then sustaining this change, maintaining this change for long term, that also need it. So at the first time, you need to bring the change. The changes will be occur for a long term. It will take longer and longer time terms. Look, second assumption that is made that organization problems are multifaceted, complex. You know, when we have, why it's complex, why we have multifaceted. We have different phases are you involved. One problem you solve, another problem arises. One problem you solve, then another problem will arise. So time to time you will see that different phase, different faceted, different problems you will see that, different peoples will see that. So every time the people, if 3% will show convincing, you convince 3%, the 1% will be show the resistance. Again, if you convince another person, 2 more will show the resistance. So convincing them, telling them the benefits of this set, it will be a complex. Look why it is complex, because we are changing the culture. It means that we are dealing with the human mind. We are dealing with the human psychology. So you're not changing the culture, you are changing the culture, you're changing the mindset of the people. So the most difficult job is that, to dealing with the human mind and changing their mindset and telling them this is the benefit, this is the good for that. That is the most difficult, that you are dealing with the human mind. You are not dealing with the physical structure. You are dealing actually with the human mind. If they show the acceptance, so change will come. So we are physically, mentally, we are not ready for acceptance. We always show the resistance, that we don't want any change in here. Whether it is an organization, whether it is our family member, whether it is in the countryside. In every day, in every life of, and everywhere, we have some people, they show the resistance. Some people accept, another people show the resistance. Then what will happen? A bullfight will be there. Bull and bull, they are fighting. From here, people are saying that we bring a change. From here, they show the resistance. When they are come to the ground floor, so what will happen? Both are comes in equilibrium. And a bullfight, we can say that. What will happen? In here, nor the change will comes, neither the resistance will be implemented. But both are staying in one point. But removing that resistance, or telling them it will take longer time. You must brainwash. You must brainwash their mind, changing your mindset, talking, negotiating with them, then telling the benefits of their change. Then it comes, then they will convince. So it is not not a short term, it is a long term, a long range. It will take terms. So once you can convince and you implement the change, but remember that the change will not be permanent. After some time, another situation will be occur. So that's why, being an organization owner, you must concern with the OD consultant for a longer time. You must have this connection with the OD consultant, because he evaluates your all process of organization. He evaluates all the terms, all the policies, all the structures, all the people's everyday time based, and telling and giving you suggestions of that when to incorporate this change, when to incorporate this change. Now when to do this action, when not. So what time you have to do this, what time you don't have to do this. So always he will be, as a consultant, he will guide you, telling you For why we have to consultant, why we are going for OD consultant, for the sake of to sustain in the market, to alive in the market, to be in the market, rather than removing ourselves from this market. So one thing we have, that is a long change.
Means that the OD is all about the plan change, not unplanned change.
Yeah, that is a plan change.
We have unplanned change in the organization that will suddenly occurs, and the managers are not predictable for this change. For example, before in change management, we have studied a case study about washing car shops, that their services decreased suddenly, and then they identified that another car wash by different names and high quality opened away from them. And then they take some quick
decisions
on these issues. Then it don't need to take turns if they want to have more years or if they need more turns to resolve these issues, their sustainability in the market will be removed. Then if we wait for, or if we need for long range, then sometimes we need to take quick decisions for resolve the issues. Then what will happen?
Okay, thank you. Good question. One thing in here, let me make it clear. When we are talking about a plan change, when you come to about that change management or organization development, there's a big difference. Change management, organization development. Change management concerned that it is the role of a manager, concerning the role of the manager. Manager must have one role, that is the entrepreneurial role. Taking a quick decisions in the right time. Taking a quick decision in the right time. That is for the betterment of organization. For example, as he gave the example that, for example, your competitor launch a new product. So what will happen that? So if you did not come up with a new idea in the market, maybe your competitor capture the market. So definitely it needs to come up with the abrupt or take a quick decision and come to the market. If we want to relate, if you are concerning ourselves in a plan organization development, what we have said, organization development, bringing changes within organization. We are not talking about this external. We're talking about internal organization. Internal organization, it might be our organization, it might be the culture, it might be structure, it might be employees related, their dissatisfaction, they're not satisfied in employee performance, employee productivity, right? Overall organization performance. So we are talking about these all things. We're concerning about these all things rather than, so in here when changing, you want to change within organization, it will take longer term. Competing in a market, competing with your competitors, you must have one quality, that is entrepreneurial quality. What does entrepreneur do? Entrepreneur comes with the quick decisions, with the abrupt changes, coming with the sudden change, a sudden decision will be make it. In any time, in any circumstances, he will never ever see the consequences. He will never ever see the result. Entrepreneur will never go for the result, whatever it comes, but he will take a decision. But in here, you will evaluate, because it is your overall organization. It is your organization. That organization which compete that market. Look, if organization having incapabilities, low morale, employees are dissatisfied, productivity is day by day low, turnover is increased. So while your manager can take quick decision? No. Why? Because we have incapabilities. Performance is not good, productivity is not good, employee morale is low, turnover is increased. So what will happen? Then we cannot take any quick decisions there. Why? The reason is that our own structure is not good. Our own, we are still in the problem situation. We are just, we himself like what you can say, that we himself struggling for survive. We are struggling for survive. How we take the change? How we quick decisions? As I give you an example of Nokia. Nokia is Motorola. Yeah, whatever. A lot of mobiles we have. If you remember in the past, they were in a top. But right now, too much changes in the market came. They take any decisions? No. They are what? They are only what? They are only putting, yeah, they are only struggling for survive. That's it. Whatever the changes, market is weird. Look, day by day innovations are coming. Where are they? They are in disappear. Why they are not showing any quick decisions? Because of what? Their own structure they are having problems. They are failed. If your own structure having problem, then you cannot take a decision, because internal structure, your own organization can affect the change that your performance. Look, as example, as I give you that, organizations, your employee morale is high, performance is very high. You know, your profitability is just hitting the peak, and the decision makers are very enthusiastic. A small change will come in the market, you will take a quick decision to grab that. Why? Because your members are active. That's why you can get that point quickly. So if your internal organization is broken, so what will happen? Can you grab the change? No. That's why we are working on internal organization. That's why we first build up our own organization. When we build up, when we make it stronger, then we can make a quick decision and grab the change when we see into the market. I hope you answer the questions. Okay, now.
It means first take care of your own health.
Yeah, then you got a point. You know, look, change comes from where? From there or from here? It's from us. When you are strong, your competitor will be weaker, because your strongest point will be the weak point of your competitors. You can hit it very easily. Have you ever fight with someone? Your opponent? Not. Have you sports and boxers? Whenever they come to the ring, before they're watching the videos of that opponent, watching the videos of opponent consistently all the point, you'll just keenly observe a small point where that person has a weak point, where maybe I was an athlete, that's why maybe a footwork is not good, maybe a stamina is not good, maybe his positions are not good. So a small where he will get 1 point in it, that then when they come to the ring, that person will start looking at that 1 point. At that point, he will hit harder and harder. He will knock out. So make yourself stronger. Make your organization stronger. That when you see the change and you hit the change, you will grab that change quickly. Because you will quickly grab that. Is it clear?
Yes.
I hope. Okay, now.
I was talking about mobiles.
Oh, leave it, yeah. Okay, it's a game. Okay, one short intervention probably cannot be solved. Look, as I discussed that, one short intervention cannot solve such problems that the most assured cannot teach the client system to solve them in a such short period of time. Both parties envision an ongoing relationship of 1, 2 or more years together if things go well in the programs. They will together for longer time as they want, until unless the thing goes well, they will be with themselves. Client and consultant. They come together not for 1 day, not for 2 days. That will be for more than 1 or 2 years, until unless the system, the problems are resolved and the system goes smooth. Then they will be still they will be in touch. As I give you an example of software developer. Remember that? Software developer. For example, how you check that golds. Did you see that software that check the gold? They separate that silver or other things When you put that on a machine, they separate they have that much or silver, that much or gold is, actual gold is this much, or the extra, or what you have is what you can say that unwanted things or that much, or extra waste materials or this much. That software, when the software is failed, what will happen? If software face some difficulties, what will happen? He will call to who? Software developer. He will always have contact with the software developer. Whenever he faces a problem, he will call that. Similarly, an audit practitioner organizations are always in concern with the who? With the consultant. Whenever they face a problem, they will call. A small things change will happen, they will call, and they will show that how to grab that. So with the consultant, they will come. I think it's a break time. Huh? Okay, go for the break. That organization development is what? That's the first we have. Is a long range. That is a planned and sustained effort. Is a change of that should be a planned and take it continuously and sustained and for a longer time. As we discussed in here, ODA involve intentionally a planned change and distinguish with the systematic drift. Unlike the innovative project and program, generally not limited to specific period of time. Look, why it's sustained? Why it is a sustained or a planned? Do you remember, a project cannot be a limited time period, having not limited time period. Once one project is completed, another will start. If one completed, another will start. But it has continuously, it's changing. One idea comes, it completed, new idea will generate it. For example, one problem solved, a new problem will be generated. A new problem comes. But you are coming sustainedly, you have to take this OD practitioners sustained with yourself in a plane all the time we have. So sustained effort, can bring a huge difference, make a huge differentiate. Now, organizations are not easily or quickly transformed. Can you transform an organization an easy way and a quick way? No, it will take time. It will take time for a longer time. The available of evidence suggests that the large organizations 2 or 3 years of OD effort are typically before the completion of series and self-sustained change. Look, plain change before bringing an implementation. Only making a plane will take many years. Only planning will take many years. What sort of planning? Because you evaluate all the factors. Then you make a plan then you bring this change in organization. It will take for a longer time. It's not a short period of time. It's not for one shot. It takes long time, a plan and sustain. Once you bring the change, then oversee the change consistently and make yourself sustain with that and evaluate for longer time unless that comes in a smooth way. Is it clear? What do you have? If you look at here, strategy. What sort of strategy did I apply? We study about strategies. I have told you about strategy in the previous lecture, in the previous class. There are 4 strategies. Doctor-patient strategy, remember that?
Yes.
Purchase strategy. Right. Now what? Client and consultant strategy. Now what sort of strategy did follow that? Now in here, that should be on the both consultant and client develop overall goals in the path of achieving that organization objectives on the basis of client desirability. On the basis of who? On the basis of client desirability. On the basis of customization. Customization of who? Customization of client. Look, I'm a consultant and I come toward your organization. So I'll solve your problem according to your perspective, because you will tell me that. You will tell me these the problems are occur. This is the problem occurred. Then I'll go for it to resolve that. And even one thing I'll tell you that being an OD practitioner, I will not evaluate all the things. That, for example, you call me and I'll come and I will observe all the things and you are sitting like this and sitting and looking to me. No, it is not the way. It should be a two-way process. A two-way process means I ask questions, you have to answer the question. Or you ask questions, I'll give an answer. So it is a two-way process. You also involve. I want you, a client must be involved in gather the data, involved in telling me data, and during the observation, during the interview, the members of organization must involve. Is it clear or not? Look, it should be on the basis of desirability of who? Desirability of client, not the desirability of consultant. Because I'll come to your organization on the basis of your desirability. You call me to come and sort of this problem. Because employee low morale. There is a problem of employee low morale. And you are not identifying why employee morale is decreased day by day. The factors that must be identified. But OD consultant come and he will identify all the factors. But for identify the factors, our members must cooperate. They must cooperate with who? With the OD consultant. Now look, we have OD consultant established a unique relationship with the client and system members. There is a unique relationship. What sort of relationship here? We have looking here. An OD consultant maintain a collaborative relationship with the organization member. Collaborative relationship what? Collaboratively. Like how? You also support me. I can solve the problem. I can suggest the problem. I can suggest you the solutions. But I cannot suggest the solution without your collaborations, without your help. The member must assess the consultant. If I need the data, you must cooperate with me. You must give me the data. From where I should get the data? If there is look, OD consultant always concerned to who? With who? With employees. Concerned with employees, getting the data with employees. If employees shows a resistance in giving the data, can a OD come with the idea? No. If employees are cooperative and giving the data, so the problem will be easily resolved or not? Yes. So the OD practitioners or OD consultant and the members having relationship is what sort of relationship? Collaborative relationship. What sort of relationship we have? That is collaborative relationship. Collaborative means what? Collaboration means to labor together. Now what we have? Essentially it implies that the consultant does not do all the work while the client system passive with wait for solution into its problem. So what does it mean? It doesn't mean that only consultant do all the work and the client is sitting passive and waiting for the result. Passive means not an active looking and just looking there to the consultant and waiting for the result. No, that is not the way. Now, and it means that the client system does not do all the work while the consultant is disinterested observer. No, it is not the way that all work should do on a client and consultant just show that and observe all the things. No, it must be what? In organization develop consultant and client are co-labor. Is it a co-labor? Collaborative means both are involved. You are also involved, I am also involved. Neither you can sit nor I can sit. Both are in a struggling. Both are in finding solution for it. Whether you and me. You as a consultant, you asking question, I'm as a client, I'll give you answer. You say these things, I provide you all these informations. On the basis of these information, then you give it suggestions. So in here, unique relationship between there is the consultant and OD practitioners. The consultant and the client having what? The relationship is what? That is collaborative relationship. What type of relationship is? Collaborative, between two-way process. You should deliver, you should give me, I'll deliver you. If you're not giving me information, how I should deliver you? So no one can sit and watch. Both are working together. Is that clear? Yeah. Now what do you have? In OD consultant, role is generally that of a facilitator. His role is what? Facilitator. Not an expert on a matter of content. And the consultant acts primarily as a question asker and a secondary as an answer giver. Look, in here what? OD consultant or practitioners, his role is what? As a facilitator. as a facilitator. He is not doing an expert contents or doing all the works by himself. He just facilitates you. He just give you the guidance. Now the rest you should do that. The rest your members should do that. Why it is a collaboration relation? Why it is a collaborative? Why I say this is a two-way process? If you are giving me the information, I'll give you the assistance. I'll give you the information, the guidance, how to deal with this, the problem, how to come up with the solution, how to bring the ideas. So that is what the completely is what we have. That is a one question asker or in the primary question asker or answer giver. In the primary I ask the questions. Ask questions, you should give me the answers. Or you ask the questions, I'll give you the answers. So there would be a two-way process. Not in one-way process that I am just finding just go for it and searching and my own self being an audio practitioner at the last I'll give you that apple like a food that you will start eating it. No, you have to. Being an organization member, being an owner, you must involve, because being an audio practitioner, I want you to learn. Tomorrow you will face again the same problem. Then what will you do? So it is better to solve it you by your own self rather than calling for other person. He involves you towards some extent. You should solve this problem by your own self. Is that clear? So that is what? That is a two-way process. The nature of audio presentation, what you have, the nature of, look in here. The nature of audio intervention differentiate from other improvement. Audio consultant patients conduct a cause to happen or intervention or structured set of activities or events in the life of organization, design and achieve the certain objectives. Look, what do you have? Audio consultants fashion the conduct, the cause to happen. The problems offer, the problem occur. Yeah, the problems occur, then they will come now. When they will come? When they come to the organization. When the problems arise, when they see something cause there is a cause and effect relationship, and if there is a problem, if there is a problem, then they will come up. So what will happen? An intervention as structured a set of activities. Then a cause there, they bring interventions. Intervention means changes. They suggest the changes. These are the intervention means suggesting the changes. Intervention, a structure of activities and events in the life of organization. Where? Within organization. Within organization. In the life of organization means within organization. Organization is active. When you introduce a change, so then it will be sustained. When you design the design the structure, that will be, it means that you are giving a new life to an organization. When you are giving life to an organization, bring changes. The changes that you bring, that it means that you are giving life. That why you change, bring the changes to achieve a certain outcomes. Why bring change, design structurally? Why? To achieve a certain outcomes, certain results, certain objectives. In here, as I mentioned here, is very in detail mentioned here, that is the nature or like a self-analytical, self-examination, proactive, diagnostical oriented, actions oriented. They focus on the organization culture or its human process. OD consultant try to include diagnostic skills. Look, what sort of skills they use? One skill is diagnostic skill. The second one we have self-analytical skill, reflexive skill. Organization members, based on the belief that organization members must be able to diagnose the situation accurately in order to arrive at successful solutions. Not only they come with their own skills, they say that the organization member must have diagnostic skills, what do you have? Self-analytical skills and reflexive skills, so that the organization members, they come up with their own solutions. As I told you that OD practitioners do the work of facilitator. Only facilitate you. He will not come till the end. He will tell you how to end, but he work only as a facilitator, only showing the path, only to give you the guidance. That's it, right? What do you have? diagnosis of self-reflection or necessary skills to have for problem solution. That is belief of OD consultants. What is the belief of OD consultants? What is the belief? A member of organization must have diagnosis and self-reflection skills, which is the most necessary for what? For a problem solving. It's the most necessary for what? For a problem solving. Now, teaching the client system to diagnose and solve the problems, take a corrective action is a goal of OD consultant. As I told you at the beginning, OD consultant is doing the work of practitioner. He's not doing by their own self. He involved the members. He involved the members in their team. He take the work from others. He tell you, okay, solve this problem. Come up with this idea. Okay, he'll give you this solution. Okay, if you were there, how you solve this problem? So you are diagnosing. Okay, this is the diagnosing, and you are giving the different ideas. Now, as an OD practitioner, I correct your idea. No, this is not this, like this. It should be like this, if it be like this. So now, as an OD practitioners, I developing your two skills, diagnostic skills and analytical skills. Diagnose what? You diagnose it, just getting the getting the data, and plus analyze the data, interpret the data. On the basis of data, you find out the solutions. Because the data is what? Only the data is the evidence. On the basis of that, you take a decisions. Now, let me give you that. OD practitioners do this thing. Ancient Chinese proverbs seems to be described that underlying relationship. Look, simple Chinese proverb. Give a man fish. So what will happen? You have given him meal. Teach a man to fish. You have given him livelihood. Did you get that point?
Yes.
Did you get the point? Shmo yak nafar chishan bati khoraka mai nishan na bati mai nishan bati chira how to grab chitumo yak mai ramingire how to yod bati hunar yod bati agar yak hunar yod ati chimesha zindagi zoro jod kari tu mai tayar mai fish qab mi bani definitely will eat. Look, as a Chinese, do not ever give a man a fish. What for? You have given him, it means a meal. We give him what? If tell him how to fish, teach him a man fish. So you will have given him a life food. Because for a longer time he can fishing, for a longer time he can fish. For many, he will fishing many fishers, and a fisher, I know about a fisher, he can fishing many fishes. Look, if you tell them how to fish, so you give him a lifelong hood. If you give him a fish in a plate, so you destroy the life of that person. Is it clear? Did you get that point? That's OD practitioner. I hope you get this point. What the OD practitioners do. OD practitioners tells you how to solve the problem. He will not come up with the solutions. If he come up with the solution, then you don't need. Again, you face the problem, then you have no ability to solve it. When I come up with a solution, if I tell you, you should bring a solution for it, so then you will. So when you face a problem next time, then you come up with a solution with an easy way. Is it clear or not?
Yes.
Did you get this point, this idea?
Yes.
Is it clear? Okay, fine. Now what we have? We have the nature of intervention differentiate from other improvement. Like as we did here, system improvement. What do we have? System improvement. System improvement we have. System improvement. The emphasis of OD systems rather than the individual and target of damage. Look, system improvement is emphasizing on overall system, not on individual person. What is the other? As I beginning say that OD intervention is different from other improvements. Now, as we can say, that system improvements is think about overall system improvement, not individual. And somehow in OT practitioners, they are going for individual intervention among the groups, among the members, whether individually or a group, whether structure or non-structure, whether departmentally. Now what you have, systems may means either our entire organization or subsystems such as academic department or team teachers overall. Not only one member, overall organizations as the systems we have. Now they emphasize, however, always on improving both ability of system to cope means to deal, and the relationship of system with the subsystems with the environment. Now in here, what system improvement means, we look at the overall things. When you come to about system improvement, we think that it will come under the all things will comes. Employees will comes, organization structure will come, design will comes, culture will comes, everything will comes. When you go for interventions or interventions, then we go for individual structure, individual groups, individual culture, or everything individually. We look at everything in a deep concern. So that is complete. It is the nature. It is different from other we have. When you come to about reflexive and self-analytic method, what we have? ORI involve system members themselves in assessment, diagnose, and transformation of their own organization. Look, as a ORI, why involve the people? Why I should involve you in this problem solving? Because this organization is yours, not mine. If tomorrow this organization faces a problem, you will solve the problem, not me. Rather than you calling me for solving the problem, that you should solve this problem by your own self. Is it clear? Yes. So there should be a reflexive. Reflexive means you have to, by your own self, you should involve, and tomorrow if something will happen, you have to solve the problem by your own self. Not by your own self means that is reflexive, come towards you. If I involve you today, tomorrow it comes again, so who will solve? Me. Reflexive. I will solve the problem. It's me to solve the problem. Or it involves the system members themselves in their assessment, diagnosis, and transformation of their own organization. Because they are transforming their own organization. That's why they are involving. Tomorrow they face a problem, so they should diagnose it and solve the problem by their own self. Is it clear? Yes. Huh? Clear? Reflexive. What an ideal, effective, healthy organization would look like. What do you think that? What do you think that? Okay, give me one point. What an ideal, in your mind, an organization, effective, healthy organization would look like? It should be what? First thing? Any 1 point of you guys? What do you think that? An effective organization would be look like what?
Like actions?
No, like look, it has a reward system, reward and punishment for both. It should be available for top management, for employee. It should be available for both. Judgment should be available for both. Yeah, the reward system should be applicable for all, not for example, if that is a 10%, that should be given to all 10%, not for the top management higher or the lower comparatively less. So it should be all same things. Now number one, what do you have? The total organization, significant subparts and individual manage your work against the goals and plans for achieving the objectives. Look, in organizations we have subparts, we have individuals, we have different departments. So every and each department should contribute toward achieving the objective. They all should work for organization, achieving the organization objective. They all should work, all the total departments, sub-departments, individuals, groups, every person should contribute, should work hard to achieving the objective organization. Is it clear? Do you understand one first point? Organization will look like the first point should be, it must has the first point, that it should be that all the members, all the people, the subparts, the departmental, everyone should do the effort to achieve the overall objective of organization, rather than going somewhere else or here or there. They all should work for achieving a common objective organization. Is it clear? The first one is clear. Okay. Second point. Decisions are made by near sources of information, regardless of where these resources are located on organization chart. Look, the decisions. Have you heard the? Do you see the chart? The chart of management. See that? The chart. Top management, middle management, lower. We have members or employees. We have. It's a chart. We have every organization has a chart. Every organization have own structure of chart. Has a structure. No? Now this decision should be made near the resource value. A person who is nearly is very keenly. For example, supervisor is there, right? Supervisor is too much attached with that a site visit, a site scene. Mostly we have they visit for the site. They observe that. He will diagnose all things that. Now it is better that this person should take a decision rather than the top management. The top management should what? Should what do we say that? Transfer has power to make a decision because he is keenly available on the same place. He is very nearly to the resource. That's why he is liable to make a decisions. Rather than because if you are a top management, if you are in the top, so if I tell you these things will happen, we will make these decisions. Maybe you will show there's some resistance. Then no, these things are these problems or these decisions are not good. According to you, that is good because you were there. But according to your top management, that is not good because they are not involved. That's why they show resistance. But being a good organization, ideal organization, transfer the authority to this person to make a decision. Is it clear? Yes. Clear? The next point. The reward system is such managers and supervisors are rewarded, punished comparably. If rewarded, should reward. If punished, should punish. There shouldn't be like a employee did something, you give punishment. Top management did something, you didn't give any punishment. So the punishment or reward should be comparably for both, should be available. Whether that is employee or a top manager, that should be available. It doesn't mean that you are employee and you are a manager, or for you that is your punishment. For this employee, there is no punishment. So for all should be equal. Law should be equal. Policies should be equal. Rules and regulations should be equal. If I come late, deduct my salary. If you come late, I'll deduct your salary. That's it. If you did good performance, you will be rewarded. If I did good performance, they will be rewarded to me. So on the basis of these things, if something will happen, so everything will be going smoothly. But unfortunately, we have no these things. We have lack of these things. Communication will be laterally communicated with the vertical. You know what do you have? Horizontal. And then we have vertical. So how many guys are employed? All of you are employed? Do you have vertical communication or horizontal communication? Directly to the top management? Directly to the top management, you're low, you're just negotiating with your supervisor, he will negotiate to the top manager. Yeah. What is the reasons of having vertical management? Because the information will be similarly conveyed. If you're going for horizontal, like if we're going to horizontal, if I convey her a message that tell this person, he will convey a little bit change. A little change. At the last, he was sitting in the top management. In here, completely, if he complained, now that person should be receive not a complaint. That is a compliment will be there. He receive an information of compliment, not receive information of complaint. So if you go from vertical, from bottom to top, there will be no such kind of hierarchy there is no such kind of too much hierarchy, level of hierarchy. In here, employees or supervisor, assistants, or lots of things are here. But in here, flat, directly go to the supervisor. So to top manager, you can directly negotiate that. The top management directly come to the labor room and discussing with the labor, with employees, with supervisors directly. So there is a gap is finished. When there is no gap, information will be conveyed accurately. Is it clear? So always maintain a structure of communication of vertical rather than horizontal. And horizontal information will be not conveyed. Then you will stay for a longer time. Then it will go for, I don't know. Now recently, I heard something, recently, in elections which we are now in elections. In Facebook, directly a number came. You can directly go to, directly from this number, directly you can assist, you can call to the presidential room. You can call to presidential call center. You can call directly and telling your all the informations. Now look, you remove all the gap, completely directly negotiating with the presidential, what we have, services. You can talk with directly. Only one step away from the president. President will ask questions, will get a feedback, they will give the information, right? Now next we have there is a high conflict. Conflict means clash of ideas. What does it mean, conflict? Clash of ideas. Definitely your ideas or my ideas or conflict. There is conflict. Within employees there is conflict. Conflict also there. Disagreements. But as a good organization, if ideal organization is having what? Being a top manager, being a leader, being a manager, you have to do what? It will take a small, it will take a short energy of yours to go and resolve the conflict. It will take us, but come and listen to the people, what they are talking about, resolve the conflict, that's it. A small energy, short energy will be spent. Come and resolve the conflict. Or rather than putting the conflict for a longer time, it will be bigger. No, if there is a conflict, come and listen to the employees, what they are saying, and act according to their desire, according to them, because they will run your organization. Their contribution will take you up. So listen to them. Listen to them and respect their values, respect their decisions. Listen, when you are giving employees psychological ownership, so your employee engagement, employee job satisfaction will increase. When you give psychological ownership, when make you satisfy your employees satisfied, so employee engagement or employee job satisfaction will be increased. It's literally, I know about this research. Now what do we have? Organization and its parts see themselves and interact with each other and a large environment and organizations an open system. There shouldn't be somehow limitations. You cannot meet, you cannot see the top management. You have no access to the top management. No, there shouldn't be like this. Should be open system. If you have complaint, if you have any sort of problems, go directly negotiate the top management. You can negotiate your problem. There should be an open system rather than putting barriers, putting the boundaries, and you cannot communicate your why. You cannot communicate to the top management. So there should be an open system that people can interact with each other openly. No issue should be there, right? The last one. There is a shared value strategy support trying to help each person or unit the organizations maintain has its integrity and uniqueness in the independent environment. Look, similar simple things that shared values. If I need help, you will come and assess me. If you need, I'll come and assess you. So in here, what will come? Integrity will come. I'll give you value, you are giving me value. Integrity will come. Integrity of what? Integrity within organizations. Uniqueness, when I come to you will come to me and we are negotiating, definitely a unique idea will generate. A unique idea will generate. If I call you and having your decisions, having your idea, thoughts, definitely from here a new idea will generate, uniqueness will come. So if I help you, you will help me. So this is a process of social. This is a theory, a social exchange theory. Social exchange theory tell us, you support a person, he will give support. If you help a person,